Good morning, guys. Today we're gonna take Bramble into the hospital and get some x-rays of his feet and redo his little shoes. He's 5 weeks actually out from his last set, which is really long for him. So we're gonna go get some images. Who's a good boy? Yeah, you're the best boy. Let me see you when we get there. Oh my God, you guys. I think all you're ever gonna think about when I make these videos is how bad this windshield is. And yes, it's really bad. But here we are. And this is actually one of Bramble's favorite places. He loves coming here. We joke to snack and socialize. Hello. Hi. Let's get you undone. Okay, use caution. Good job. Get up on the scale. Whoa. Good job. 143. This is Bramble's exam room. It's where he always gets his stuff done. Yeah. Boy. So just looking visually at his feet, we can tell, I know the right one is definitely more side to side off balance, so medial lateral balance is not as good. So remember, he was really turned in when his feet were excessively long. We also know there's a lot of toe, but this is 5 weeks, which is the longest he's ever gone without a trim. So if we look at the radiograph, it shows us essentially the same thing. The left foot is a little bit more balanced side to side than the right one is. So the right one has a lot of wall on the lateral side. So we'll fix that. These Versa grips will just come off. I'll just undo the cuff and then I'll just pull from the bottom and the glue will unhook itself and they'll come right off. Right one off. This is what the foot looks like underneath. Still a little bit of glue. We'll work on it. So I've sped this up a bit and added a voiceover here because it's impossible to hear me in the room without a microphone. So Bramble, you know, this, like, when you watch this, it's probably relatively boring. But I think what's important here for me is that even just a couple of months ago, it was almost impossible for him to hold up one of his front feet and stand on the other one. So the progress that he's made to this point is exceptional. You can see he kind of shifts a little bit here and there. This is double speed, so it looks a bit quicker, but you know, he's just like, he's such a good boy. He tries so hard. He gets a few tough pellets every so often as his reward for cooperating, and he's willing to do so much. And he knows, I feel like, that I'm trying to help him and that everyone who's working with him is trying to help him. Even when, you know, it's frustrating, like he has to stand on the blocks, he has to do things that are not always super comfortable when we're taking images, and he just, yeah, he takes it all in stride and he absolutely does it amazingly. Typically what I do to try to keep him the most comfortable as possible is I leave the shoe on the opposite foot while I do one foot, and then make sure the trim is really good on the foot that I'm working on so that I can do the other one with him having a little bit more comfort in standing, or I set the shoe on the other one first and then do the second foot. I couldn't really do that in this case because we wanted to get images after the trim and just make sure that everything was in the right spot. Okay, so this one now looks like this post trim, which is a little bit better. At the bottom, see? It looks like this, but we're gonna take another x-ray and make sure before I put a shoe on that and see what else, because I'm sure there's more that I can take off. And this is the right front. We could take a little bit more off the lateral side. And maybe just a teeny tiny bit off the heel, but not much. This one he's more rotated in, so it looks a little bit more upright, but it's actually not. All right, so moving on to the left front, I've taken off the glue-on shoe, and that's not super difficult to do. So all you need is a pair of nippers typically, and I just use a pair of nippers that I don't use for trimming hooves because they'll get dull, but crack the seal on the cuff on both sides of the glue, and then just pull the shoe off from the bottom like a regular shoe. So I've already done that here. Now working on trimming that foot, and there's obviously, as we could see from the original x-rays, a lot of toe to come off because he tends to grow the toe. And to keep him more comfortable, I try to get as much off with him in a standing position as I possibly can, because a lot of it I can grab from the front. And then once all of that toe is off from the front and a little bit on the bottom and even out the heels, get some new images of that foot. Okay, so this is post trim. This left front could take a little tiny bit off the medial side, but it's really not bad. So post trim again, it's pretty flat on that foot. Okay, so he's got his shoe here. This is a 74F Versa Grip. I actually put them on with the super glue that comes from Easy Care, and then I love this Instaset stuff. It really helps when they can't hold their foot up for very long. And then we've got some plastic, and I will wear gloves to avoid gluing myself to the pony or the pony to the floor. That happens quite often. Here is the pony. So once again, I've sped this video up a little bit. I have him standing in a nice clean spot, and I'm applying as much super glue as possible as I can to the shoe. Then give it, unfortunately you can't see this part, but I give it a quick spray with the Instaset. Grab it and place it on his foot, and I can hold for a second. And then once he puts his foot down, I check and just make sure I'm happy with that, and then I add glue to the cuffs, just the super glue in this case, and it works perfectly fine. And that sets, at room temperature, it sets very quickly. So in a minute here, I'll wrap this foot in plastic so that those cuffs seat down against his hoof wall really nicely, but he only needs to stand there for about 5 to 10 minutes before I can take the plastic off. Unfortunately, you also can't see this because I have bad camera skills, but I'm just doing the plastic wrap in this case, and all of that can be done with him standing on the foot, which is very helpful. And then we just repeat the process on the other side, set the shoe on his little foot, get it where I want, and then I can put it down and wrap it. And there we have the right front in the shoe. Let's see, we have the left front in the shoe. And then we're gonna get some pictures. Left front in the shoe. You can see the shoe doesn't quite fit on that side, but it works. gonna get some pictures of the hinds. So we got his little front shoes on, and for the first time actually, I think he might be able to go barefoot behind. Hang on, Bramble, stop for just a second. Can I show them your hind feet? These are his hind feet now. They've never looked this good. He had little Epona shoes on them the last cycle because they're a little bit narrow for easy shoes. Here's his fronts with his new shoes. Just kidding. Little view, perfect. There's a little bit of glove on there that I glued. That's how talented I am. So we're gonna take a little walk around the arena, test it out, see what he thinks. We'll just keep in mind that soft footing is actually harder for him. But he seems quite happy. Good boy. Good job. Yeah. Very good boy. Excellent job. Bramble is really helpful in the cleaning process. He likes to get the broom. Need a Diet Coke? Yeah, you do. You like it too, huh? Good boy. Here. We can have some snacks from the snack pouch. Okay. Bramble is all set to go. Let's go home, Bramble. Let's go home. Okay. You're gonna have to load yourself here. Okay, let's do it. No, no. No, no. Come. Come. It's hard to film and do this, huh? Boy. Very good job. All right, excuse the windshield once again, but we are headed home with Mr. Bramble. Hi, bud. Oh, sorry, it's so windy. Hold on, we need to get your rope. You can't come out without a rope. Wait, wait, wait for me. Hold on, 1 second. Wait, just wait, hold on. Hold on, 1 second. You gotta wait. Let me get your rope. Don't you dare push that door open. Yes, I know, I'm coming. I'm not as fast as you. I'm not as fast as you. Okay, come here. Can I have this, please? It's very windy outside. It's very windy. Okay. All right. We're home. Oh, your sister is napping. Oh, hi, sweetheart. Oh, big stretch. Brother's back. Your brother's back. Okay, he's back. All right, let's go in. Hold on, this way. Okay, there we go. Hey, be nice to her. Come on. Okay, there we go. Good. Hi, sweetheart. Yeah, hi, sweetheart. Yeah, good job. Oh! I really just can't stress enough how important it is for ponies like Bramble, where we can get regular imaging, because it's just so helpful to planning where we trim and where the shoe sits. I know today the images that you see, like, they look much better. I still am like, oh, they're not perfect, but for him, this is amazing progress, and we're not going to necessarily get perfect every time. So next time he'll get trimmed and shot again in 4 weeks. And right now I'm just really pleased with how everything turned out, how comfortable he is, how happy he is. So we'll end the vlog here, and I'll be sure to share with you when he gets trimmed again and keep up with his progress. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.